The curious case of Danny Ainge, the GM of the Boston Celtics, and the failures of this uber talented young core. What's going on in Boston this year to where they're struggling to the degree that they are? With two all-star players, an all-star guard in Kemba Walker, a veteran power forward in Tristan Thompson, a former all-star in Jeff Teague, one of the best defenders in the league in Marcus Smart. Why have the Boston Celtics struggled, standing at 19-18, fifth in the Eastern Conference? How has Danny Ainge failed this team? When we think back on free agency and how Al Horford was able to walk for nothing. When we think back on Gordon Hayward's situation and the potential trade for a much needed big man in Miles Turner was blown out the water because Danny Ainge simply asked for too much in the trade and Gordon Hayward walks for nothing. All of the unique trades, all of the valued draft picks have ultimately amounted to a Celtic team that's extremely shorthanded, especially with regards to bench depth.
What's going on with Boston? Because I thought we were going to be there this summer.
They're falling apart by the seams. They're falling apart by the seams, and it's time that we say something that we haven't said. And I keep bringing up the name Gordon Hayward and what has transpired. I'm going to go a step further than that, Max Kellerman. And I'm looking right at you when I say this. You know who needs to be brought into the eye of the storm?
I hope you say the name.
Mr. Danny Ainge.
I agree.
Mr. Danny Ainge. Enough's enough. We respect Danny Ainge. We respect the job that he has done. It is undeniable. But it's also time that we highlight what he hasn't been able to do. He was reluctant, highly reluctant to pull a trigger and to get a deal. He had the assets. He could have gotten a big-time player. Over the last over the last, how many years has it been? Tell me when a championship has been won without a star. Outside of the Detroit Pistons with a starting five of Chauncey, with Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Ben Wallace, and Rasheed Wallace, practically every team that has won a championship.
And they made the midseason deal for Rasheed Wallace, who was a star.
Deal. That's right. So when you look at it outside of that, I'm talking about from Julius Erving and Moses to Bird to Amick Hale to Magic and Kareem to Isaiah and Dumas to the list just goes on.
Patrick Ewing never won one?
There we go.
Right.
I'm just looking at it, and Danny Ainge has not pulled the trigger. And here's the thing.
Danny Ainge has most definitely failed the Boston Celtics to a larger degree than many people actually give him credit for. Kyrie Irving walked away for nothing. Al Horford walked away for nothing. Gordon Hayward walked away for nothing. These are three star players in the league that you essentially got no assets in return for. The Boston Celtics always swing big on the trade market. They tried to get Kevin Love in 2014 and again in 2016. They made a run at Kawhi Leonard in 2018. They were hotter on the heels of James Harden this season than the public was led to believe, per Sam Amick of The Athletic. Celtics president of basketball operations, Danny Ainge, and his staff will surely take another big hack this time. Boston needs more bench scoring, wing depth, and outside shooting. It could stand to perk up its playmaking. It has needed an interior upgrade since Al Horford skipped town. The Celtics have many needs. The C's have as many needs as you'd expect for a barely above 500 team that's entered the campaign with championship aspirations. But where's the trade chip? Who gets the mega deal done? Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going nowhere. Same goes for Kemba Walker, though for different reasons, namely his recent injury woes and colossal contract. Boston has the biggest trade exception in NBA history, but might carry it into the offseason. Prospects such as Romeo Langford and Aaron Nesmith haven't done enough to boost their trade values to the point it would make sense to let them go. The Celtics could and probably will be linked to just about every notable name on the market. But the fan base should know by now that instead of actual trades, they should prepare to hear about just how close the club came to pulling them off. We come to the conclusion that the Boston Celtics won't make a major move, but will come totally close on a couple of major trades.